Going out the pit. This is the Outside Gate with Steve Hall on the L4 Media Network, where we talk US moto and anywhere the conversation goes. And today we're joined by freestyle legend, Jarryd McNeil. How are you, dude?
Good, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, good, man. Good,
I
yeah.
was, you're doing that little intro. I've got the cows outside the window here just mooing. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm always here for that. I always tell people if their dogs are barking and whatever, I love animals and I love all that sort of stuff. It makes the show
Oh,
more authentic, I
if I'd
think.
known
And
that, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have left the house. Friggin', I had the kid in there, and then some friends walked up before to the house. They're camping down the bottom, and the dogs started going crazy. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get over. I've got this little RC shop like building over just off the house. I'm like, I just go jump in there and get away from the kids. Wife's trying to rein in the 2-year-old, so he's going wild, and then the newborn dogs and all the stuff. So now I'm out here in the cows and milling. Can't get away from it.
that's all right, man. And a lot of shows you hear my animals in the background, especially you hear my rooster crowing. He
Yeah,
always likes to join in. So
good stuff.
uh, that's it,
Chirping it.
man.
Yeah.
That's it. So yeah, congratulations on the newborn, man. For a start, man. I'm typical bloke. I don't know what you had or names or anything like that. The girls always know the weight and the sex and the name and the details. I just know you got a new baby, so
Yeah,
congratulations,
got
man.
a newborn little girl. So pretty excited about that. Yeah. Name's Rowan. She's pretty good because I was a bit nervous about the second one if it was going to be a little bit calmer than the first. But I mean, my little boy's a wild child, so it's going to be hard to top it. So she might be able to, but so far she's been good. It's the nights for me haven't been too bad. I would say the wife thinks a little bit different. But yeah, both going well. Mum and daughter are doing well and healthy, and yeah, it's good.
That's the main thing, man. It's amazing. It's just the best, man. I got two kids there. They're almost both adults now, so they're
Yeah,
17 and 21, man. So yeah,
great
I
time flies.
it does,
Time
man.
flies. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
friggin' it's wild just watching them grow up. Yeah, they've got a 3-year-old just turned 3, and it's just gone by. Like I've got a 3-year-old now. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it goes so quick, man. Like I can't believe how old mine are. And you now you've got a daughter, man. Wait to see how quick daughters grow up, man. Like
I Yeah, that's the one that I'm scared about the most. I don't know if you have sons or daughters or both, but just having a daughter in this world, today's world's a scary place. And oh man, it's yeah, growing up now, just having to, I like obviously just give them the best world we can possibly give them, and hopefully they choose the right path, and yeah, just try and guide them through life best I can, right? And yeah, see how we go.
yeah, man. Yeah, one thing, just a bit of advice that comes to me straight away is that, um, you're the world you're in will be very good for your daughter because there's a lot of good role models, girls
Yeah,
that ride dirt bikes.
I
Like
hope the good role models of the sport and not these fake like posing girls that like my wife off-road family grew up riding and she can ride a dirt bike and she's not a AMA pro or anything, but if you watch her go around the track she's safe, clean, smooth, good form. Her dad taught her really well, and it's cool to see. And but then you've got all these young girls that are just posing with their bikes that barely even ride nowadays, and it's just clickbait. And so I hope I'd love to see her if she gets into the dirt bike scene to be like a girl that goes out and gives it a good go, and like a Vicky Golden freestyle, or I don't know, Tara Geiger of motocross or something like that would be really cool to see her take one of those routes and be successful in the sport, riding it or actually riding the bike well. If she
yeah,
wants to get into that, yeah,
yeah. I've
yeah,
always told my daughter, especially since she got on social media and that,
yeah,
to follow, follow Ashley Filek, follow,
exactly,
follow
yep,
these girls. They are the cool girls. That's what's cool. That's what cool chicks do,
yeah,
and
yeah,
rather than you know, like the ones that aren't as good a role model as you mentioned. Yeah.
At the track posing in a bikini with their dirt bike. It's it's kind of getting a bit old now. I'm sick of watching, like just seeing it pop up. All my mates are over it. It's just like we just want to see the females of the sport get the millions of followers and the credit they deserve for doing well, right? So that's what
That's
I can
right.
only if that's the route she wants to go.
Yeah. I've been getting a few of the WMX girls on the show, and
Cool.
part of that reason is because of what I used to tell my daughter, like these are role models. This is what
Yeah.
young girls want to
Yeah.
be, you know.
And then she
Yeah.
can watch. They can check me out and see, chat to them and kind of see. You can pick their brain a little bit and then show your daughter that, right? So it's cool.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Hey, so I kind of so for those that don't know, or I suppose most people wouldn't know, but yeah, me and Jarryd sort of grew up in the same place, but I completely missed you, man, because so how old are you? How old are you now?
33. Yeah.
Yeah, 33. Yeah. So I'm 48, and I moved away when I was what was I early 20s, and then I came back about sort of 8 years ago. And I remember coming back and people talking about and I lost a lot of touch with the area and people talking about Jarryd McNeil and that, and I was took me a while to put it together that you'd come from here, and I was like, oh yeah, oh, that's cool. And then I
Yeah.
remember you were talking to my boy Trent Maher on the Motor Limited show there a while back, and you were talking about riding at sand pits and that sort of thing. And then I was like, oh, that's even cool. You know, like that's where I grew up riding as well. But you know, like we never would have crossed paths at the sand pit with the age difference and that. So
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. So you grew up in Krang Kundruk Barra Murrabit area.
yep,
So what closer to which one?
Kerrang.
Krang. And where are you at now?
Yeah, correct. Back in Kerrang now. So I went from Kerrang to Bendigo to sort of the outskirts of Melbourne to back to Kerrang, and yeah,
You're
so that's
in the township of Krang. You live in town in one of the streets, like one of the neighborhoods there, or you got some land or
in town, man. In town on one of the on one of the streets up near the footy ground and the river, up near there. Yeah, so
yeah, cool. That's a nice spot. Yeah, you're probably close to my nan's old house, and then yeah, you probably my auntie owns the shop in town. Right, you got the town hall, and then you got the town center where like they've got this pool in the back and all the, and then at the front there's the bakery on the left side. My auntie owns the shop on the right.
oh
So
okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I know that in this area, man. So my surname's Hall. You know,
yeah,
Aussie
a lot of
Steve's my tag, but yeah,
holes in. Yeah, because I spoke to Dad like literally about 10 minutes ago. Dad called me and I said, I'm actually having a podcast with a guy back home, Stephen Hall. And he's like, oh, there's a lot of. I said, oh, he's actually from the Krang area, and he's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, he's Stephen Hall. And he's like, oh, that the last name. There's a lot of those guys here. So yeah.
yeah. There's heaps, man. There's heaps. There's like three, or maybe even four now families with the surname Hall that aren't even related. You know, and
No,
my family's massive on
no
its
way.
own. Yeah,
No way.
so and
Really?
yeah. So there's heaps of
Four,
us.
four halls and no relation.
Yeah. There's four separate families. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
It's funny.
it is it's crazy, man. But you know, like you go down the street here and it's like I got it. You can go down. I'm like, oh, my cousin owns that store. My cousin works at that store. My cousin owns that shop. You know, my
Hey,
uncle used to work there. Yeah, it.
like it. It's cool. Like I hadn't got home. I was locked in the US with my visa stuff for 4 years almost. I couldn't travel since COVID 2020. So I finally got to go back home. What would be in June. I got to go back and obviously flew back into Melbourne and then got in the car and I did like about 1700 Ks of driving in 8 days, just in Victoria. I popped through Denny because that's an old stomping ground of mine in Deniliquin, and then went over to Krang and seen my grandma and stuff. And yeah, it's just cool to get back home. I hadn't been home for a long time, and it's crazy how much the places haven't changed. And it's cool because like if I ever went, eventually one day I'd love to have a place back home if I could, like a nice little, I don't know, tin shed down on the Murray somewhere with a block of land would be cool to have, just a holiday place. And I'd love to just come back down there and get on the river at Murrabit or where the old farm was in that area somewhere, and it'd be a good place to go back home to. Miss it. But yeah, it's just crazy how things haven't changed in so many years. Like I've been gone for 15 years and nothing's changed. Place still
No.
the same, shops. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, nothing's changed, man.
It's good though. A good thing. It's good. Like it's even, very small amount of new neighborhoods and stuff in those towns, and it's like everyone's kind of stayed how it should be, like just good small town.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is, like it's there's little changes as far as, the like job opportunities and
Yeah,
some
yeah,
things like that.
yeah,
For it's a bit harder for, like, we came back here when the kids were at school because I wanted them to go to school here.
yeah,
And that, well, several reasons, but that was one of the key things, and
yeah.
it was really good for them. And the then but then now it's sort of getting the stage where, yeah, we're thinking of probably going to Bendigo again, man, just because there'd be opportunities for my
Well,
kids.
yeah. My parents lived in Bendigo for a while, bouncing around the state. But yeah, they just up near Cobram Way there. But they were in Bendigo for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and it was nice. They loved it. It was good. I got to spend a bit of time back there. Or before 2020, I got to spend some time there. It was nice. Yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah,
Cool. That's it. And I'm still riding out the pit occasionally, man. Although it's not as cool as I thought it was when I was a kid.
yeah.
But there's a bit of nostalgia about being out there though for me. So
When I went out there, 2000 and I went out there in 2018, I think it was 2018 or 2019. I went out there for a look because I was at home filming I was at home for Nitro Circus and I was filming my real moto. So I was out at the McDonald's where they're over just in the new south side of Murrabit there. So cross over the bridge just on the left hand side. They're a big farm that grew up with those guys and the McDonald brothers. And so we were filming there at their place. I did a bit of a project there, and then I did some stuff out at the old dairy farm, just bits and pieces, the old track and that. And I've done a couple of different. Brett Trigg, who's a Aussie filmer, he's from out Warrnambool way, and he was out there filming me as well for another project. So I've been out the pit a couple of times actually, and just kind of there's a couple like this single track around the top and stuff's all still there, and just little bits and pieces of bits and pieces from a kid, but yeah. No more dirt's taken out, but yeah.
nah, it's actually shallower than it used to be, just
Yeah,
because a lot of sand's been washed into the bottom, so it's
yeah.
nowhere near as deep as it was.
Used to be huge back in the day. Like
It
the
seemed huge. Yeah.
hills, I could never make it up those. Or, you test your skills and you go there now and you're like, yeah, it's a bit easy.
Yeah, 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 it is, man. But it's also, it's about the only place in the bush around here where you can find somewhere where you can jump a little bit. Like
Or
you can find 6 foot of air because everything else is flat.
yeah.
So
Or if they're still letting you ride,
yeah,
the
that's right.
cop
Yeah,
chased you out. Yeah.
yeah. That's it, man. Cool. Hey, so I could talk about that stuff all day, man, but we might just move into a little bit, sort of my favorite question, man.
Yeah.
What I sort of get back to is tell us about when the bug bit you, man, when you first got that first mini bike or saw someone else that had one, that sort of thing. What's that
Yeah.
memory for you?
Memory for me, my earliest memory was I can remember Dad just like running down we had the big roundabout in the middle of the like we had our big dairy farm, which is 600 acres, but we had the roundabout at our farm, which was quite a big roundabout. I don't know, maybe an acre maybe there's an acre or so in the middle of it, and so I remember Dad used to run me around that, chasing behind me. That was probably one of my earliest memories. But having an older brother, just being a young kid, I started riding. I hopped on a bike when I was 2.5. Dad brought it home from a garage sale, and just having an older brother with a Pee-wee 80, just looking at him. I think when I was a young kid, just wanting to ride bikes, and yeah, it's good times.
What was the first bike?
Pee-wee 50, yeah, Yamaha Pee-wee 50. Yep, it was a red and white one.
Yeah. The old Pee-wee 50 is definitely the most common answer when I ask that question. So yeah,
Yeah, they are. I mean, I got my son one. He has a Pee-wee 50. I just got him a little E50 gas thingy that's the same as the Yamaha. It's just a little bit lighter. A good little bit of a stepping stone. He rode his Pee-wee quite early, but he doesn't like. He loves to just rev it and hop on it and just rev it. Like, it's funny. Which I'm not going to push him to ride. If he doesn't want to ride it, then I don't want to be that dad that just pushes him stuff. Like, if he's happy just pulling out of the garage, starting up and revving it up, then cool. So be it. But yeah, at the moment we've just put him on this little from his Stasic now. He's been really enjoying his little gas, which he only just got it for his 3rd birthday the other day. So get him on that. Then obviously when it comes time to do some more racing, he'll probably want to be on the Pee-wee and stuff, which will be really fun. I want to see him enjoy that bike like I did. So yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got some good genes there, man, to be a good rider. That's for sure. With with the part McNeil, part Abbott, man. That's like if he was a racehorse, you'd buy stock. Like yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, he does. Definitely is. He loves it. All about the bikes and just stacking up his little toy bikes in the back of his little work truck ute thingy he's got inside, and he's off to a show. He says every day, loads up a different vehicle in the back of his little plastic toy pickup trucks, and he's off going to a show. He reckons. So imagination's already there. It's pretty cool. So,
that's it, man. What's your so obviously you were a gun Aussie junior motocross racer before the freestyle. And you're a national champion, in fact, yeah? Or did I always forget if you beat Ty or Ty beat you in that yeah.
He has the 16 years 120 125 championship. I have the 250F 16 years championship. So I won the better one, the 251, but yeah. By like this much.
Yeah. Is that your favorite memory from your junior moto? That's probably it.
Yeah, definitely. Ty was really never defeated as a amateur racer, as a top amateur, and so to be able to beat him in the junior Aussie championship at his last year on the 250 bike was pretty sweet. Like, it's definitely a good memory from my racing years. If I was going to take anything from my racing years at home, I'd definitely, that'd be one of the pick for sure. Yep.
Cool, man. I mentioned just before about when you did a show with Moto Limited with Trent. That was a great show. He had you and Ty on. So if anybody, rather than me going into a heap of detail with that, we'll move on to some other stuff. But if you're interested in a bit of, Jarryd's glory days as a junior motocrosser, if you look up, I guess, the Moto Limited archives, yeah.
Good. He did a really good job. It was cool. I was really stoked that he brought that up. Like a lot of people, it's crazy because being over in the US and not a lot of people knew my racing background. I've raced 3 pro nationals over here, but it's not like a lot of people know that. So it's really cool when people bring that up in the podcast and the interviews and stuff, and they ask me about my glory days back home. It's like, yeah, it's good times. I grew up in a good era of riders, and yeah, good fun, good times racing for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So, and Trent did a great job with that. It was a really good show that he did with that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, real professional. So
cool, man. Righto, it's time for an ad read. Guts Racing, gutsracing.com. That's a really easy website to remember. Greg's Ultra Trick Seats. That's what it stands for. Obviously, you can get seat covers there. You can also get seat foams, the ultralight seat foam. You can get complete seats. You can get custom seats with bumps, with the RJ wide wings. You can get 2 different sizes of tall seats. You can get an amazing range of colors. If you can think of it, they probably have it. You can even get the ballistic material added to the sides of your seat if you are a knee brace guy that's really digging the sides of your seat up. Kaiser Wolf, hey, Kaiser Wolf is your MX2 world champion on a gut seat on his factory Husqvarna. If you want to buy your own factory style Husqvarna, the Husqvarna Rockstar Edition, it comes off the showroom floor with a gut seat on it. That just speaks volumes. That's the premier model from a manufacturer. It's coming OEM with a gut seat on it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You can even get Velcro fitment seats if you don't want to tackle the old-fashioned staple gun job. If you do tackle that though, your seat cover will come with a QR code. You scan that code, and it will take you to none other than Andy Gregg himself doing a video there showing you the best way to install that seat cover. That's some pretty good service, isn't it? How about that? You don't get that too often with any sort of products you buy. As privateer hero Scott Meshy says, they are a butt gripper and they will make you a ripper. Get around it. The world's best seat covers. Guts Racing. Gutsracing.com. That's a really easy website to remember. Gutsracing.com. Righto. Let's get back and see what another Aussie bloke, Jarryd McNeil's got to say.
Yeah.
I know I've read about it before, but yeah, just tell us a bit about the transition, man. You know, from motocross to freestyle, and you know the why you made that choice and that sort of thing.
Yeah, for me, racing just was draining the bank account, and freestyle shows, I was getting more freestyle shows, just things popping up, and long story short, finished up. I went from juniors into my senior year, raced under 19s in 2008. Didn't have the best results in the motocross, broke my wrist and things like that. Just struggled with that. Raced Supercross, ran, I think it was like top 15 in the 250 pro class. And then, what was it? Doing halftime shows at Supercross then. Was Super X, was awesome. Like, it was probably the best Supercross tracks we'd had back then. Like, it was like kind of the next step after. Like, it was like you had like Supercross Masters, which were like kind of like American arena cross tracks in a sense in the small stadiums, and then we kind of had outdoor venues and back and forth. Jarryd McNeil was trying to put things on out at Dubbo and all these different places, and they were cool, but they were just in speedways and things like that, down at Geelong, things like that. And then Chad Reed and those guys started up. It was like Gas or something back in there. They started up Super X, and it was like we finally got American style tracks. They were big football stadiums. It was awesome, like really good time. That was 08, 09. So for me, 08 wasn't the best. 09, 08, I got on 2 Krusty Demon shows, Shepparton and Wagga Wagga, close to home. So got my foot in the door there with those guys. And then following year, 2009, got my foot in the door with Krusty New Zealand tour. Broke my wrist before the Oz tour, so I missed that. And then I completely wiped off the motocross racing, and I was just doing Supercross because I could do Supercross and the halftime shows at Supercross to make some money. Basically, after winning Australian Junior Championship, watching everyone else get factory rides into their under 19s pro debut, and I was pitting out of my dad's Ford Transit van with 4 bikes from Jarryd McNeil, and just went and tried to do whatever I could with mum and dad's bank account. We didn't have a whole lot of money, lost a lot of money, so didn't really have a lot of money back then when I was turning pro. So it was kind of really hard for me to race and do what I wanted to do and accomplish what I wanted to accomplish with racing. And Honestly, politics in Australia are ridiculous. They're ridiculous anywhere around the world in anything, but in motocross racing, and a lot of it, it sucks. It's part of it, but just with what your parents can do. My parents are just good old farm people that just love seeing their boys succeed, and my mum and dad weren't doing shady things or paying people off or doing crazy stuff. So to see, just to see my racing career cut short it really sucked, but I definitely wouldn't change it for anything because it's worked out a lot better following the freestyle career. And training, doing all that stuff, I loved doing it back when I was young. It was really fun. And when I first came to America for freestyle, I was still had the racing mentality. I wanted to still try and give it a go. I just didn't have the financial support and backing to do it. So I was kind of, in a sense, more pushed to go freestyle, but then also I enjoyed just doing freestyle. And at the halftime shows at Supercross, just going there and being able to just ride my dirt bike and do tricks, and have all the people in the crowd still remember me and who know who I am. And they like it went from being there for racing and looked at for being a racer to then being a freestyler and not really doing too much racing. So it's cool to still have the people supporting me with my venture into freestyle. And yeah, everything just started taking off really well. Got my first invite to Nitro Circus in 2010. Got on to the X Games was in July, so I got my first invite to X Games. Got to come to the United States for the first time, and just kind of crazy, but yeah, kind of more pushed into freestyle, but then also kind of really grasping it and taking it on and actually giving it a go and actually seeing where it could take me and making the connections I have and the sponsors that I've got and everything. It's actually really cool because I've got to represent everyone that I've ever wanted to represent being a freestyle rider. So it's pretty sweet. I love it. It's good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love everything about it, man. I'm always here for a good story, and especially a good success story, and especially when it's from a good old Aussie bloke as well, So
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's good. Good times. Had a good career. Loving it.
that's it, man. And plenty to go yet, man. Plenty to go yet. That's it. Do you remember, man, the first time you hit a ramp? And
Yeah,
what were your feelings the first time you hit a ramp? Were you just like, no fucks given, or was there at least a little bit of intimidation?
definitely. So the first memories would have been kind of. Uh, I got two memories, and I don't know which one came first. There was a small ramp at my buddy Josh Wilson's place in Denny. They had like a real small ramp. It was probably like only like, I don't know, maybe a meter and a half tall, maybe yeah, meter and a half tall. I remember jumping on my 85, and it was like kind of it was all right. It wasn't too bad. Like I could jump, so it wasn't really that bad. The first time I hit a super kicker on my 85, which was down at Cade Mosick's house. He's like out past Cranbourne area, down Melbourne, and it was a super kicker. It was one of Bilko. It was Cam Sinclair's actually. It was Cam Sinclair's super kicker, and we had it. There was on Cade's motocross track was this massive big tabletop in the middle of his track. It was huge. It was a good one, and then side there was that tall that they used it as a freestyle lander on the side. And I remember that being pretty scary, hitting a super kicker on an 85. I think I was maybe like 11 or 12 years old. That was probably why just hitting a full size proper ramp, a double flip or a backflip ramp back in those days. But yeah, that was pretty mind blowing for sure.
Cool, man. Cool. I'm glad you're at least a little bit scared. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, definitely scared. I would have been yeah shit myself. Yeah.
That's it, man. What's your goals now, man? Like you've achieved so much. Like what's your goals now?
I'd love to come back and try and defend a title at X Games. I'd love to get the opportunity to come back and compete at Step Up again if they have it again. That would be I'd like after winning it 4 years in a row. I want to try and get another number, a fifth year in a row at X Games if they bring it back. They haven't had it for 4 years now, so since COVID. But I'd love to come back and just kind of make the gap a little bit further and make other people try a little harder to get like before somebody gets a 5-peat, it's going to be a lot of years. So it'd be cool to do that. Honestly, just focus on my family. Yeah, just trying to be around more with the kids and that, and do that stuff and juggle the riding and that. Obviously, keep riding, do as many shows as I can. I love representing my sponsors and putting a smile on people's faces and just getting to travel the world. So I'd like to try and stay up on shows and do as many as I can. Probably would love to do a lot more stuff with Caterpillar, with the stuff I've been doing over the last few years, just with some projects and stuff there. I'd love to do a lot more stuff with them, and try and set up a business. Try and set up a bit of a construction small business here in the US, just with my heavy equipment stuff that I have at home. I want to try and kind of venture down that path, something that can allow me still go away on the weekends and do shows and travel and that, but then still be flexible and be able to do small jobs around the area, and yeah, pretty much what's on the books for me. Yeah, just see how it goes. Really, ever since COVID, it's kind of been a bit funny. So we have one X Games a year, so really just focus on start of the year we get start focusing on that event, and then we obviously have the Nitro Circus stuff. So got a tour coming up November, December. So start getting ready for that here real soon, and yeah, so. Been a little since X Games. It's been a little bit quieter, just running around doing monster shows and things like that. So, yeah, just playing it by ear at the moment, juggling a family and riding dirt bikes, and yeah, it's good.
Cool, man. Cool. You mentioned COVID there, man, and one of the things I thought I might ask you about, and you've said a lot, man, so you don't have to go into huge detail, but yeah, we're listeners, I'm sure, all aware of the dramas you had with the vaccination stuff and the visa stuff and all that sort of thing. So I'm glad that that's resolved, man. But you want to just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. No, it's just a decision, right? Like everyone likes to have their own decisions on their own life, and I got pushed to a point in my life where I smell corruption, and it's you can't. It's hard, I guess, like being strong-willed in a sense, right? Like being a very strong-willed person is like riding dirt bikes, breaking bones, getting back on the bike, getting back to riding, so many mental blocks, doing things like that, dealing with that stuff my whole life, traveling the world, living in another country from the age of 18 by myself, and just having the will to keep going, right? And having a family, and being pushed to a point in my life where the medical decision is not mine, and I don't like that. Every decision I make about my body, whatever I do, if I choose to ride a dirt bike, if I choose to hop in a car, if I choose to take drugs or do things that are bad, then that's my decision and I choose to do it. And if I don't want to choose to do something because of my own health and my own life and choices and morals, and just kind of got pushed to a really dark place from the government here, and the world, really. Like the world's kind of taken a different turn, and it's not just the United States, but just the whole world's kind of turned to shit since 2020, and they're starting to rein in the rules, and they're trying to take over and police us a little more. And I'm a country boy, where we grew up, and just let us live our life, and don't tell us what to do or what to put in our bodies, and we'll just do our own thing. And so I got pushed to a point where they wanted to be I had to be vaccinated to stay here, or I had to have a reason to not be vaccinated. And I'm lucky that I've had good lawyers and somebody's looking over me. And let's just say religion and morals are a big part of this constitution, part of your life. You learn a lot of things about religion, and how God and things can help. And yeah, I've just been fortunate enough. I've met the right people, and someone's looking down over me. And yeah, it's just crazy. Not a place you want to go, I tell you. Not a place that you've worked your whole entire life. Part of the United States American flag on my wall when I was a young kid. Love Australia, absolutely love Australia. So proud to be an Aussie. If anything, it actually helps me in this country being an Aussie. You don't really meet a bad person. But I love living in the United States, and I've worked so hard to live here. I've spent 15 years working to live here and to work towards my green card, and then to have it denied and ripped away from you and told you that you have to leave because you're not vaccinated with the COVID shot. It's kind of pretty scary time, especially when you have a wife and a kid, you got property and all of the stuff here. You know, you're married and friends and family, they're all here now, and it's when you're told to leave and get out of the country and you have 30 days to leave, it's not a fun thing to be told. But you know, we got through. I got good lawyers, and it actually all worked out. We've done really well, and here I am now. I've got my green card. A couple of days after, I went and built my first shotgun, which was pretty sweet. And just moving forward, living the American dream, trying to put that stuff in the past, and just look for a brighter future and try not let that. There's there's so many things I wanted to do to the government here, just to sue them and do things that are just ridiculous because of the trauma and the stress and the shit that they put me through. But at the end of the day, it's just like, hey, look, I'm here now. Just piss off with your bullshit. Let me live my life and live with my family here and be happy, and just get out of my life, please, as much as you possibly can.
That's it, man. I'm impressed, man. I thought it was great, man. You're very strong-willed, man, and it's impressive. You know, like you know what Victoria was like. You know,
Oh, mate.
probably the worst place in the world during COVID with old dictator Dan in charge. So, yeah.
I'd say Melbourne, Australia. I'd say Auckland, and then I'd say the whole of the of Canada was all the Canadians are putting up with a lot of shit too. So like, at the end of the day, Dictator Dan and the rest of the clowns down there destroyed Victoria, which, I'm a proud Victorian. I love Victoria, where I'm from, or southern New South Wales. That's the region that I'm from, and it was super sad seeing all my friends and family, and honestly, just even the way that it put me and my siblings and stuff, just arguing about bullshit that's just irrelevant, that's got nothing to do with like what they did to families and friendships and things over that shot, and the way that they treated people in those states is just disgusting. And honestly, I hope no one ever goes through that crap again, because I really hope Aussies stand up for that bullshit. That's terrible. Watching it from over here is just, I don't know, it's crazy, because I was out riding America was on lockdown, but we were out camping in Utah. We were out riding in Ocotillo Wells. We were at the motocross tracks every day. Like, the only thing we had to do was wear a mask and like kind of social distance. But like, it's funny, we had a lot more freedoms in COVID, but then I got a lot of freedoms taken away from me after COVID finished with the vaccines. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I got put into like a prison after COVID was finished, but in COVID it was like freedom. It was just like having a ball. Like, my life was great in COVID. It's sad, but I had a really good time in COVID. Like, one of the best times I've had in my career was being told to stay home and just ride and do whatever I wanted at home for a year. Was kind of, I enjoyed it. I really, because traveling a lot, living out of a suitcase, it just gave me, anytime a tour came up, it was just like, get back on the road, get out there, go. And then you're told, just stay at home, don't do anything. The financial thing wasn't as good, right? But as far as like the mental thing, not having to pack up and leave, and just to be told you had to stay home, was like an injury. Like, you're forced to just do nothing, like as far as touring and things like that. So it was good mentally, but then it also was a burden as well. By the time I got out, then I got put into this whole green card situation. So it went from one extreme to the other. As good I guess just a mental battle for a while, I'll tell you that was for sure.
That's it, man. Well, I'm proud of you, man. And you know what, one thing I often say, thinking that, like, I value freedom over safety, man. Like, I'll judge my own safety. I don't need someone else to cover my safety. Just leave me the fuck alone, so
you're here still, right? Just you're here.
That's it.
You're doing, like, just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
It, man.
Cool, man. I know you're pressed a little bit for time, so I just got I got a few fun questions here. So just a couple of quick fun ones, man. What Aussie stuff do you miss the most, man?
What do I miss the most?
Yeah.
I miss the Murray River. I miss growing. I miss going out into the bush, camping on the riverbanks in my swag, just waking up to the bird noises. That's like 100%. That is, I miss the Murray River. I miss like waking up in the morning, unzipping the swag, and just being like, no way, this is sick. Like that's what I miss the most. I miss my family. Don't get me wrong, family, but yeah, from Oz, I would say that. Runner up would probably be our lollies. I'm struggling with our lollies and like just our sweets and just the bakeries, all of our good food. Definitely good food. I miss our Australia's not as processed GMO crap like America, and America just blows it out with all the disgusting crap that you can eat, which is not good. But yeah, I just definitely miss our food and the bush.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. I bet you can still smell the river. You still
Yeah,
have that smell. Yeah, it's got a
yeah,
unique smell, and yeah, that's it.
good.
Cool, man. Cool. And then, dude, so Americans reckon rattlesnakes are pretty scary, man. But like, so tell me, like, if you got to encounter like a brown snake or a rattlesnake, which one, man?
Rattler. I'd rather take on a rattler. Yeah,
Interesting, man. Yeah.
yeah. They warn you. They kind of tell you before they're going to get you. So I'd say a rattlesnake, and in a sense they warn you, right? Unless you're treading, unless you haven't heard it and you're treading on it. But I don't know, man. Our snakes are smart and just sleek. Like growing up on the farm, yeah, a snake's a snake. I don't care as long
Yeah.
as it's not poison. If it's not poisonous, we've got tons of different non-poisonous ones around here. You keep them. I keep them. I don't mind them. I'll take any of the non-venomous ones here any day, compared to back home with all of our nasty ones. But people always like, oh, Australia's so gnarly. You got so many. I'm like, what about if you're locked in an area with a wolf or a bear? I would take a snake any day. I would take a snake any day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's unless you're right up north, there's nothing in the Aussie bush that wants to eat you. You know,
a croc, a croc.
yeah,
That
croc. That's it.
they got crocs and alligators over here, so that's the same. But yeah, anything else that's like that, yeah, I don't not phased. If I've got a shovel, we're fine.
That's it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I even try and catch them. I've caught some sometimes. Yeah. So
Browns or
yeah,
browns?
brown or tiger. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we're being close to the river and that. Like, they don't bother me, man. They just worry. I just worry about my dogs, man. Just worry about the pets.
that's why mine cost me one of them cost me like $3,000 to save my dog. So anytime I see a rattler, it's dead to me. Gone. I
Yeah,
don't give a shit. It's
I
dying.
understand, man. Yeah, if one
Gone.
comes in my backyard,
I love animals. I feel bad, but you've just
yeah,
almost cost me my dog. I've got no time for you. But any other snake out here, I love them. It's good to have them around because there's actually snakes out here that if you've got like certain breeds around here, then rattlers won't be around as much. So like there's some snakes that are a bit more territorial and they can put up with rattlers, so they get rid of them. So it's better to keep the non-venomous ones around.
cool,
Yeah.
man.
What else
Cool,
you got?
cool.
Any ones?
Hey, nah, it's all
Any
good, man. Oh yeah, I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted you to get back to Mrs. McNeil and help out. You got the newborn and the 2-year-old running around. So I said I'd keep to a time for you, and I'm already a couple of minutes over, man.
You're good. I feel bad because I want to give you more time because I know you've been asking me for so long now. You've been pushing me. I know you're pushing me. You've been a good bloke, just asking, and you just want to get me on there. And being from home, that I'm like, and with the time difference, I'm like, oh, I've got to get on there. I've got to get on there. I've had, I don't know. There's all these other podcasts. I won't even name them, but there's a really big podcast from Australia who I've known forever, and he's making a really big scene over here in the United States lately, and I can't seem to get it on his podcast because he's lame. But I'm glad that you guys, I want these underdog small guys to, I need to give you more time. So I
All
appreciate
right.
you having.
Cool, man. Well, you just tell me, man. You just tell me if you got to go on that, man.
If you got any more questions, give us. I'll give you another 5. No problem at all.
Yeah,
We're
man.
good.
Yeah, cool, man. Hey, so growing up for me, like, Destry Abbott was just like awesome, man. Like, he was like, wow, one of my favorites, man. You're younger than me though, like.
I had no idea growing up, so that's cool to hear. You knew all about him growing up. That's it.
Yeah, like I remember years ago there, my wife was working with your cousin or your cousin's wife for a little while.
Okay.
And they got talking or whatever, probably about, she's probably said, oh, Steve rides dirt bikes or whatever, and you got mentioned. Or there was some sort of connection made.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, his father-in-law's Destry Abbott. How cool is that? Like, this was before I had a show or talked to anyone that was famous or anything like that. Like, it's sort of. And I remember thinking, like, wow, he knows Destry Abbott. So yeah, because like I was a big fan of motocross, but big fan of off-road racing as well.
Crazy, eh? Especially because he's more desert stuff, which is not as big at home in Australia. Like, that's not. We got Hatter, Bink and stuff, but like, other than that, unless you're just doing enduro, like, the off-road enduro scene, it's not the same kind of racing. Like Hare and Hound, the stuff that they do over here, where it's wide open across the desert, like the most gnarliest shit you've ever seen on a dirt bike. Like, I don't know. He's a wild man. I didn't grow up. The only reason I know Destry is from racing some enduro. I did an enduro cross in 2011, and he was riding for Factory Cowie back then, and I got to meet him, and I tried to race against him, but I sucked at it. It's a tall man's sport, so it wasn't good for me being little 5 foot nothing. But his just funny. That's he introduced me to my wife now, and that's just growing up. I guess he just followed me from X Games and racing and that, and then having a mutual sponsor, Thor MX, back in the day, and we just were at an event for the gear release in 2017, and he introduced me to his daughter, and the rest is history. But yeah, he's a good father-in-law. It's cool just from that industry, and love that family. It's amazing. It's cool to be a part of it. He's nobody to me. I don't know about his racing career. Nah.
Man, he's definitely a legend, man. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. All right. Hey, here's a fun one. So what's the best flavor? So only Aussies will get this. What's the best flavor of shapes, man? Do you miss shapes? And what's the best flavor?
I'd just what's the original green one?
That's the barbecue shapes.
Yeah, that's just barbecue, right? Yeah, I would say that. I'd just say the original. Yeah. Because what's the one in the purple packet? What's the purpley pink? Is
purple ones? The purple one's pizza shapes. So they're real popular.
I'm like, one of those two. I don't know. It's been a while. The last one I had would have been the green packet. Somebody gave me some, so I'll just go with the originals. They're pretty good.
Yeah, that's it. The barbecue. Yeah, that's it. That's my favorite, man. But just over the pizza.
If anyone's listening and they want to ship over Allen's lollies and barbecue sauce, I'm all about it.
That's funny. I had, I don't know if you know, do you know Tiger Wood, young fella that's racing over there? Thomas Wood is his name, but he's nicknamed Tiger for obvious reasons since he was little. He's just racing in Canada. Yeah.
I think that rings a bell, I think, actually. Rings a bell, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on, and barbecue sauce was the one he was missing. Like, he's like, oh, barbecue sauce.
Dude, I have so much barbecue sauce right now. I just got my mates to stock me up a little bit. Yeah, definitely miss it. It's just there's some things that you just really miss, and food's one of them. Yeah, definitely. Just some of the taste. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. All right, dude. Hey, last thing I do to close the show, man, is there's a bit of a backstory that I won't bore you with, but I sing a bit of Kenny Rogers for the outtake, and
Okay.
I reckon there's probably a good chance that you'll know the words, because I reckon this song's probably almost more popular in Australia than America. So just a little bit of The Gambler is my outro song, man. And I'm not a singer. I'm just a guy who's never gets embarrassed, and I like to sing a bit of Kenny Rogers. So that's the outro, man. You're welcome to join in, especially when we get to the chorus.
Go on. Hit it.
So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Jarryd McNeil, thank you heaps for your time, man.
You need to take up singing.
Nah,
Dad, man, I can't sing for shit.
Singing in the ute, or singing in the shower is about it. But I am partial to a bit of karaoke, though.
Yeah. No, that's good. Good stuff.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, man. Really appreciate it. And yeah, definitely. I reckon I'll probably get over to the States again before you probably get back home. And I'd love to meet you in person if our paths cross. Then that'd be awesome, man.
You get to Southern California and you stay out of the crappy place LA, we'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, man. LA's just for where the airport is, and then you get the hell out. That's it. Yeah.
Place you don't want to go near the place. It's a junk.
Yeah. All cities are in my book, man. Like I don't even like going to Melbourne. I'll go to Melbourne for a Supercross or a concert, maybe the footy. That's it. Like,
I go back to Melbourne because it's my home city, and it's like I just feel good when I get to go home to see Melbourne again and again, But I don't like going to cities that much. I like to go there and perform and to visit for a couple of days, but then get me out real quick.
Yeah.
Concrete jungle.
The good thing about Melbourne, man, is that the airport is right on the northern edge, man. So
perfect, isn't it? It's great. Yeah. You don't have to you just come straight in the back road. That's what I do.
One set of traffic lights to get to Melbourne from my place, which is
Isn't perfect. That crazy?
It is, yeah. You go all the way, you come around that back road, you get that one set of traffic lights, and there's some more traffic lights in the airport, but there's only one before you're actually in the airport. Yeah.
Awesome. The other day when I got to come home, I drove out the back of the airport, and it was like landed at LA, got in from LAX, so flew in early to Melbourne in the morning, and sun's coming up, got out there, got the rental car, and just drove not even half a K out the road. Kangaroos everywhere, like coming up in the morning, and I just go straight out to the back roads and carve all the way back around to the Hume to get up to my parents' place in Cobram.
Right.
And, all the new roads out there, and all nice now, but you don't have to go anywhere near the city. It's just country roads. Just instantly felt back home. Eucalyptus trees, kangaroos, morning, the frost in the morning. Yeah, it's nice. Good.
Cool, man. Love to hear it. Thank you very much for your time, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
No worries. Cheers.
Cheers.